Hello, Chris White, Perrycroft Bees. This is a short, or maybe long actually, video on what things go wrong. In particular, if you don't keep up with your hive inspections and you find that you have a swarm hanging in the buddleia tree, which I'll just show you. Okay. So I didn't keep up with my hive inspections, naughty me. I'm sure I am not the only one, and I won't be the last. So the question is, what do you do? Well, I took the swarm, that was good, put it into a box, and then I had to go through my apiary here to find out which one it was. If you've got a lot of colonies in your apiary, it's quite a time-consuming job, so it is always wise to keep on top of hive inspections. However, what do you do when it's gone wrong? I've opened up this hive and the queen was late swarming out. They'd already capped the cells, and the bees, the virgin queens, are actually emerging. So I went through this hive. It's a double brood box, and I meticulously took all of the virgin queens out. Now they were still running around in the hive, quite happy, but give it a few days and they would be all around the apiary in little casts, so that would be quite a big job, and not ideal sort of thing to do. You want to be on top of the bees. So what I did, this is what I did, it's not necessarily something you see in books, but I went through all the frames and I found as many, I went through it about 3 times, and I found as many of the virgin queens as I could. And as I found them, I'm just going to remove the crown board. As I found them, that's a nice quiet piece. Let me just put that down. As I found them, I put them into queen cages. And I've now put those, as you can see, the queens are running around in there. I put them on the top with this homemade eke. I can't stress how good they are. I will do a video on the multiple uses of an eke at some point. But anyway, here you can see the queens have hatched. Now, if I was to just put them in a cupboard somewhere or leave them out, they will very quickly die. So, as these bees are ready for swarming, they're just going to look after those queens on top of the frames. And the eek just enables me to put the roof back on, and I've now got some more time to sort out homes for these queens. And I say homes because this colony is one of my favourites. It's a really nice colony. They build up well, they're very gentle, they bring up honey, they don't run, they're really good. So I want these queens. So I effectively turned what was a bit of a naughty disaster into an opportunity, and I think that's what you've got to do when you're keeping bees. If things don't go right, I always think, right, how can I turn this into an opportunity? And this is what I've done. There is 6, 9, there's 10 queens there, potential queens anyway. Now I may not have got all of the virgins out of there, so I just don't know. That's, if I did, then I will know shortly, because this colony will become very queenless, and I can use one of those queens to put back in. If I come over to the next hive which I've inspected, this is a not so good hive. It's okay, as in disease resistance and overwintering is really good, but they've got a nasty habit. They're quiet, but they've got a nasty habit. Every time I inspect them, they all come out of the hive and just hang around. These have been hanging around now for a good half an hour, and this makes it really difficult doing the hive inspection. They just run up onto the top and they spew out almost like lava. So what I'm going to do is this colony I am going to use to act as a sort of support staff for the queens which I've got in the hive next door. They seem to have a good trait of just hanging together, so that'll be good for testing out my sort of mini nuke process. And there's quite a they've gone back in mostly now, but there's quite a few bees in there, and they should be enough there to make 10 mini nukes. Anyway, just thought it's not often discussed in the bee videos, and it's just an example of how you can turn a problem into quite a nice advantage. If you didn't want this many bees, then you could always sell them or give them away. But you might as well make use of it. If they were not very good colony, they were like the colony I showed you next door, and I didn't really want them. I guess it could be dispatch time for the queens, but fortune has it that these are a really good colony. They are super gentle, they always are. It's not like this is likely to be a good day. They are the bees that I want, and as the queens carry the genetics, those are the queens that I want. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Bye.